keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
Oh yes, forgive me. Do come in.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. McPherson, I have an offer to make. Interesting for you, vital for me.
You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
Mr. McPherson, you've been in Paris for some time and I need your help. Only you can investigate this case. I'm ready to pay anything.
Could you give me any more details about the case? At the moment, it all seems rather nebulous.
You probably haven't heard about the Orphée case, Mr. McPherson. The newspapers have kept it quiet. A couple of American tourists were brutally murdered. They were my sister and her husband. I want to know the circumstances surrounding their death.
These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
A hotel in a chic part of Paris in the 8th district. The Hôtel Orphée. They arrived there about a week ago. They were found dead in their hotel bedroom.
How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered? It may just have been a terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. McPherson.
Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. McPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. With Mr. White, her wish came true. They were so very much in love.
Are the police handling the case? If they are, it may well complicate things. Do you know the name of the inspector in charge of the investigation?
The detective in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. You know, the police are the same in every country, Mr. McPherson. Whether you're in New York or in Paris, you mustn't be in a hurry. Lebrun is no exception.
I don't get it. I've never worked for you before, not here nor in New York, yet you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation, Mr. McPherson. I find your nickname Spooky to be charming. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. The suspicion surrounding you is totally unfounded, naturally. You are the man I need for this investigation. Discreet, capable of seeing beyond appearances.
I don't want to seem overly interested, but why don't we settle my fees before we go any further?
This case may take you several days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of successful investigation.
Your offer is very reasonable. I accept.
I owe you a lot, Mr. McPherson. Much more than the money I'm paying you.
To be honest, I'm not sure I should take the case. Firstly, because where there's a murder, there's a murderer. Inspector Lebrun is in a better position to arrest murderers than I am.
Mr. McPherson, I have no faith in the police. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the affair. All they care about is keeping their reputation as a chic area.
You'd like me to begin right away. I think I have all the information I need to begin. You're sure you haven't forgotten anything?
The police didn't find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled very comfortably, in luxury and with old family heirlooms. It was a passion they both shared.
It is risky traveling with large sums of money. Would be a shame if they'd been killed for that reason. How valuable were these family heirlooms?
An old relic of no value. My sister was very fond of it. Of no value whatsoever.
I hope to have results quickly. I'll be in touch with you when I've made some progress in my investigation. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
I ask only one thing of you. Be discreet. The police must not suspect you're involved. If you'd like to meet me...
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the post office, please? I'd like to send a telegram.
Right away, sir. Post telegraph, go ahead, please.
I'd like to send a telegram to New York, please. The addressee is one J. Wells of Pinkerton's National Detective Agency, number 57 Broadway. The message reads, "Need information on woman named Sophia Blake. Stop."
I've made a note of it. It will leave this morning. Done.
Gee, these suitcases are heavy.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother.
What can I get you, sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Sir?
My name is McPherson. I'm a private detective.
You really are a private eye, just like in the movies? You've even got the hat, and you're American too. Huh. Private Dick.
Yeah, a real detective. Investigating a real murder. The one at the Orphée.
Golly, I wish I was a detective. So you're investigating the Hotel Orphée murder?
If you agree to help me, you kind of become my assistant.
Really? Of course I agree. An adventure. Finally.
Tell me about the evening. What was the atmosphere like?
Yes, it really was a most unusual evening.
What do you mean?
A series of strange coincidences. The telephone was no longer working. The lift breaking down at the Orphée. That still has not been repaired, incidentally. And to top it all, a violent storm breaking out just as the door closed behind the last customer. First thing the next day, I found out a double murder took place right here, almost right above my head.
And bang! Your wine turns into vinegar.
Some things you just can't explain.
Just call it a hunch. A big hunch.
Yes, that may be so. Instinct. What can you do?
I had this feeling about the White's murder. A kind of premonition. I just knew.
I know exactly what you're alluding to. I had precisely the same feeling when the man left his observation post by the window. Like a shiver down the spine. Don't ask me why.
Be a good guy. Tell me in detail what you saw that night.
I don't know any more than that. I know that Petit, the Hotel Orphée receptionist, was chewing the fat with Inspector Lebrun. He seemed to know quite a lot about the White case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Are you the manager? My name's McPherson. I'm from the international office of WAI, Worldwide American Insurance. I'm investigating events that took place in your hotel several days ago. The murders.
The insurance company. Perfect. The Whites left, shall we say, a rather substantial bill that really needs to be settled. You are here about the bill.
I'll come clean with you. My employer is a rich American lady with no ties to the Whites. She wants to take a room with you, but recent events have made her sick with worry. I have to check that she will be in no danger here. I have to give my report tomorrow, so you see, I do not have much time.
Oh, that changes everything. What happened in room 507 was totally unique.
My client insists that everything is checked before she confirms her arrival. A stay of several months, maybe even a year, must be carefully prepared. So I have to visit the room. What number did you say it was? 507?
The thing is, the police have not yet finished their investigations. Room 507 would be impossible. But the room next door, room 505, is identical. It even has a nicer view. A long-term stay calls for maximum comfort, does it not? Follow me, sir. I will lead the way. This is it. Unfortunately, room 507 is not accessible. The police has not yet solved this sordid affair. But rest assured, it is an isolated incident. The hotel does not have a reputation as... What the... What is going on now? Would you excuse me for a minute?
Don't mention it. In any case, I've always preferred to visit at my own pace. Well, the key is still in the lock on the other side. If I could push it out, maybe I could use it on this side. This door leads to the White's room, but I can't wiggle underneath. I'll have to find a way to open it.
You, the detective. You want to know? Come on in, and you shall. Welcome to my home, Inquisitor.
Who told you I was a detective, madame?
I am a seer. I simply see things others do not.
If you're clairvoyant, you can tell me what went on in room 507.
The papers and the police are talking about it, but nobody knows the truth, except me.
What did you tell the police, madam?
Everything I told the police came to pass. Have you read the report? What did they say about it? That I am mad, is that it?
In concrete terms, could you tell me what you really saw that night?
A shadow has been cast upon them. I felt its presence.
Do you believe that evil was in the Whites' room, just like you and I are in here?
The Whites brought evil with them. Evil lurked inside them and devoured them from the inside out, until they were one with it.
This evil, madam, did it know the Whites? No doubt your visions can guide us.
Evil wormed its way into the Whites, slowly, relentlessly destroying their being.
Please, be more specific in your ramblings. Describe this evil to me. Tell me what it is like.
Be on your guard. Evil is temptation. It is man's primal sin.
Mrs. Loiseau, I cannot arrest a culprit based on your ravings about evil. Please be more specific.
My words cannot be understood, Mr. McPherson. They can only be felt. Come back later. I need to rest.
Of course the door is locked. The front desk clerk is hardly likely to open it for me. I must find a way to get in.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elway, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. Ah, a little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a private eye, a private detective. I wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to answer a few questions and help me in my investigation on the Orphée murders.
A private dick. I see. Well, you'd better show me your license.
A license? I didn't know detectives needed a license. Where can I get one of those?
I will let it pass. This time, private detective. You must be working for someone. Who hired you?
It's just that my client pays me very well to keep silent. She's very fond of her privacy.
It's going to be hard to help you in these conditions. What if you were a little joker? Huh? The Orphe case is not in your league.
Just a helping hand so I can launch my investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I don't want to impede your work in any way.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road? Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty? Dr. Kaufner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Kaufner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav McPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So, you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Orphe?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. McPherson?
I'm a private eye.
A private detective? Then someone is showing an interest in the White's murder.
A person who wishes to remain anonymous is paying me to investigate.
We all have a reputation to protect.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Kaufner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. Macpherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
Is this the evidence found at the scene of the murder that will enable you to draw your conclusions?
Sequential repetition of habits. The cure for hysterical behavior is by elimination of the source of anguish. I am just a psychoanalyst, Mr. Macpherson. It is the job of the police to draw conclusions, not mine.
What do you make of the coin found in the victims' mouths?
Do you know, Mr. Macpherson, that in antiquity, superstition had it that we should pay Charon, the boatman of Hades, by placing a coin in the mouth of the dead. These ancient myths are buried deep in our unconscious and resurface when we are overcome by hysteria. Fascinating, isn't it? All that is symbolic, Mr. Macpherson. The murderer himself probably doesn't even know. Like all symbols, it is up to us to interpret them.
You are implying that the murderer is a victim too, Dr. Kaufner.
We are all victims of the secrets of our soul, Mr. Macpherson. This criminal is no exception. We are all victims of our past. And do you have a suspect, Mr. Macpherson?
If I had a suspect, I would not be here, Dr. Kaufner.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. Macpherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity.
Sir?
The police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening.
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Mallet.
Who is this Mallet?
Théo Mallet. Works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Why is he a lowlife?
He likes to bet, and when you do, you have to pay your gambling debts. It's a vicious circle. Mallet is a bona fide con man.
Did you notice whether Mallet gave any money to this man?
No. It's the man who gave the money to Mallet. I remember, it was cash.
And do you know where I might find this Mallet?
Mallet hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Did you see this man with the whites?
I have never seen the whites, under any circumstances. There's no way I would have noticed them with that man.
The whites never came to the cafe.
I would know for sure. A pair of Americans outside the tourist season are pretty conspicuous. But if you want to be sure, check at the Orphée's reception desk. Maybe they would know.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Petit, the receptionist, will probably know. He was on duty that night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Do you recognize this man?
No, it's definitely not him. Looks nothing like him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Can you identify this man?
Yes, maybe. Yes, that's him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ah, it is you again.
Thanks to you, I've been able to draw up a portrait of a potential suspect. It's not perfect, but I think that with this, we are onto something. Now all we have to do is show it to the police.
That crafty devil with the mustache. Then he is the culprit.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Petit. I never said this man was guilty. I don't even know his name.
With those killer's eyes, there can be no mistake.
How is Mrs. Loiseau involved in this case? I really don't understand. Is she a witness? Is she a suspect? Can she be trusted?
Madame Loiseau may be a little eccentric, but she is our best client. She has been living in the Hotel Orphée for many years now.
Mrs. Loiseau would not be a bit, how shall I put it, nutty? Not many people would dare claim that they can sense evil. In any case, I certainly would not.
Nonsense and superstition. Any evil presence here is definitely human. People can be gruesome. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
You are the detective, are you not?
Do you recognize this man? Don't be afraid, it's just a portrait. It can't do you any harm.
There is a resemblance, but I do not feel evil in him.
You cannot identify my suspect.
It is all so confusing. I saw the man so quickly, and he was so terrifying.
You really think criminals have a certain type of face?
All I do is share my visions. I am afraid that if you're looking for anything more practical, it is the police you want to see, not me.
Hey, cutie. We've not seen you in ages.
Berenice, what a surprise. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Do you know a certain Théo Mallet?
No. But surely the owner does. You're lucky he's in right now. Your gnome knows everyone you know.
You're as charming as ever. Thank you, Berenice.
Call me Bebe like everybody else. Right, I've got to run too, cutie. You know, work. See you soon, okay?
Yes, anyway, you know my address. Come up and see me sometime. Ciao.
Ciao!
Come on, let's see that hot hand of yours.
Queen and her 3 sisters.
Oh no, are you doing it on purpose or what? 3 of a kind. You beat my 3 aces. Right, I've had it. I'm off.
Hulot, you're not going now, are you? Not when I was about to relieve you of your car.
Don't start, Mallet. Do not think that you can get away with things just because you have settled your bar tab. Why, it is Macpherson. Hey, Macpherson, come over here.
Macpherson? Who is that?
Another American in Paris who is broke. Let me introduce you. Macpherson, let me introduce Théo Mallet.
Hi.
Right, I will leave you two. I have work to do.
Hi.
I get the feeling I've seen you before somewhere. Have you ever been to New York? Oh, no, Mac. I'm so absent-minded sometimes. The jacket. The Orphée. You're a doorman at the Orphée.
If you are interested in the suit, I will give you a good deal. As far as I'm concerned, it is ancient history.
I bet you know all the hotel's comings and goings. Its little secrets, its clientele.
You are looking for an informer who can fill you in on what is going on at the Orphée, right?
A few days ago, something happened at the Orphée. Something truly awful. As you probably know, an American couple was found dead there. Murdered. I'm reliably informed you were on duty that night. You even had a drink in the cafe next door, the Nantes, with someone suspicious. Maybe even the murderer himself. Does that mean anything to you?
Find someone else. Frankly, I have nothing to say.
I have something to show you. Do you recognize this man? That's all very well. But how am I going to find that man now? He'll never come back to the Alembic.
I knew the Yanks were strange, but to talk to yourself out loud, and in French to boot?
Some are stranger than others.
See you soon.
McPherson, here again? You've got back your taste for life?
Hulot, you remember the guy who ran off the other night when I wanted to talk to him? Had you ever seen him in the Alembic before? That man is dangerous, Hulot. He's the prime suspect in this nasty murder business.
Should I know him? No. I do not know who it is. But he did not seem too keen on meeting you.
This time, Hulot, I think Mallet really has done something shady. Has he been back since that night?
McPherson, you are wasting your time with Mallet. He has not been in the Alembic since... Anyway, I already told you he's a stand-up kind of guy. He paid me what he owed, and that is all I care about.
Hulot, I have a small problem. There's this lock I've mislaid the key to. Would you know of a way I could open it without damaging anything?
That and a few sticks of dynamite should set you up for that bank job, right? Seriously, Mac, why would I be carrying all that stuff? Do I look like a hardware store?
Come on, Hulot, don't be shy. Everyone knows that if somebody needs something, you're the man to ask. You've got contacts all over the place.
A little job. Do not worry, it is nothing risky. I know you are good at this kind of thing. This painting is a reproduction, and here is the real thing. Do you notice any differences?
I won't bother you any longer, Hulot. But make sure I can still reach you. I may need you sometime soon.
Goodbye, McPherson. Be careful. McPherson, here again? You've got back your taste for life?
So there's the job done, quick as you like. Take your paintings back, Hulot. I've finished. Better check in case I've missed out any details.
You have done well, but some of the mistakes you have found are actually okay. So examine them again, will you? McPherson, here again? You've got back your taste for life?
So there's the job done, quick as you like. Take your paintings back, Hulot. I've finished. Better check in case I've missed out any details.
With a few more touches, it will be perfect. There are a few details, however, that you say are wrong that are actually correct. We have to fool the expert, so there can be no mistakes. McPherson, here again? You've got back your taste for life.
So there's the job done, quick as you like. Take your paintings back, Hulot. I've finished. Better check in case I've missed out any details. I won't bother you any longer, Hulot. But make sure I can still reach you. I may need you sometime soon.
Goodbye, McPherson. Be careful.
Great! The private eye returns.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody, just make a statement.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Kaufner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Kaufner is our expert. Forensic scientist and above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
You don't seem to be overly fond of Dr. Kaufner. Is there any particular reason for that?
The chief of police himself imposed Dr. Kaufner on us. It's not going to help matters any.
I have some fabulous new information on the Orphée case. A portrait of the killer. Here, look.
My God. I do not believe it. Let me warn Inspector Lebrun immediately.
Do you recognize him? Wait, do you know who he is? You.
Elouin? Jacques Elouin? It's impossible.
Elouin. The name rings a bell. If only I could see that vision again. Control that vision. If only...
The inspector would like to see you immediately.
Come in, dear sir, come in. Mr. McPherson, I presume. Would be private detective? I have no time to waste with snoops. What do you know about the White case?
I don't have time to waste either, Inspector. I've got some news on the White case.
I'm listening, McPherson. Go on, fire away.
I have a portrait of a suspect who may very well be the guilty party.
Where is this portrait from, McPherson?
In fact, it is your mysterious visitor. He was seen by witnesses. I drew this portrait from their descriptions.
And where did you find the witnesses, McPherson?
You know as well as I do, Inspector, that just by being there, the police can scare off even the most talkative of witnesses.
What are you insinuating, McPherson? That I do not know how to do my job? Is that it? There is just one problem, huh? You are interfering with our investigation, McPherson.
I am trying to help you, Inspector.
Okay, let's say I agree to work with you. What do you want to know?
The portrait. You say you know who it looks like. That means he's a known criminal. He has a record. Who is it?
Jacques Elouin. He is a private eye, an ex-cop. He lives in the 11th district, and he is in big trouble.
The White case. Why don't you give me more information? The public could help you, and you could use this portrait to officially issue a description of a wanted person.
You are very naive, Mr. McPherson. This man is incredibly dangerous. Our specialist, Dr. Kaufner, has informed us that the ritualistic nature of this murder could provoke severe psychosis in the mind of the public. Like in London at the turn of the century.
He's killed again? Who's dead?
Theo Mallet, the former doorman at the Orphée. Do you know him, Mr. McPherson?
I talked to him last night. It was he, Mallet. Mallet fled as I was showing him the portrait of the suspect.
What you are telling me only serves to prove his guilt. Now you have what you want. Make yourself scarce. I need to think. Goodbye, McPherson.
letter of appointment. Signed Grégoire d'Alpin.
But who are you? What do you want?
I am a friend who has your son's best interests at heart, madame.
Liar! I do not believe you. Jacques is not a criminal. Get out! He's not here. Scram!
Madame, Eloin is wanted by the police for murder.
Liar! I do not believe you. Jacques is not a criminal. Get out! He's not here. Scram!
Any idea where he may be hiding?
Hiding? I swear he's not here. Why would he hide? I've not seen him for several days. I have no idea where he is.
You're lying, Madame Eloin. Tell me where I can find your son. I mean him no harm. On the contrary, I need to talk to him.
You do not want to harm him. Can I trust you? Please understand, Eloy has not done anything. He's afraid, that's all. He's not hiding, but he needs help. My son is up there. Follow me. He's upstairs. Just go on up.
Right. Jacques Eloin, I'm arresting you for the murder of Regis and Ruby White.
I'm innocent. I may have led the murderer to the Eatons, but I did not kill them.
The Eatons? What are you talking about?
It's a long story, but this is what happened. It was after a rather tiresome case. The story of adultery that ended badly. The husband had hired me because his wife has supposedly run off with the money. She told quite another story, of course. I will spare you the details. I came home shattered. During my absence, a certain De Alpin had come by about some employees who had swindled him. I knew that De Alpin was a banker and that there would be plenty of money in it, but I was dead on my feet. So I told my mother to call him back and tell him to get lost. That's when she showed me the check. So, off I went again.
Those dirty kids, they roll around in the mud all day. And who scrubs? Old Muggins here.
Who are you? Can't you see I'm not here? If it's for the poor, I gave it the office.
Lovely day, isn't it? Say, can you give me the Eaton's room number?
The Eatons? What do you want from the Eatons? Are you a friend of theirs? You don't look the sort they would associate with.
I'm Jacques Eloin, private detective. I hate to be any bother, but I have a few questions to ask the Eatons.
A detective? I knew they were shady, those two. With all that riffraff that Paul knocked about with. That Montparnasse bunch. In any case, they have split.
Montparnasse? You mean people who live in the Montparnasse district? The artist quarter? Paul hung out with artists there. Anywhere in particular?
The Olympic gang? That's where all the layabouts met. Birds of a feather stick together, as they say. These bloody rascals really want to drive me up the wall. I have a floor to scrub, so you with the mustache, clear off or I'll chuck you out on your ear. Little rascals, wait till I catch you! Hey! Not my flowers, my beautiful flowers! Wait! They're going to see what I'm made of.
Strange. Yeah. Oh dear, what a mess. Mrs. Evelyn, you've got some cleaning to do. A locked safe. They probably got the key with them. Look, a boat ticket.
Good evening, sir. Are you expected?
My name is Edouin. I've come to see the master of the house. Would you introduce me, please?
Sorry, sir. My master cannot see you.
Right. Are you in charge here? Do you mind, as a pure formality, if I ask you one or two questions? Is this the lodge of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross?
Sorry, sir. I cannot answer your questions.
I apologize. Your honorable members are naturally not under any suspicion. In fact, I'm seeking information about a young woman, Gracie Eaton. Or maybe you've seen her brother, Paul Eaton, a big, strong fellow. They've been here.
Sir is insistent. It would, however, be preferable if you withdrew.
As a doorman, you're in a position to know all the members of the club. K and GDA are both members, are they not?
All information about our members is confidential, sir. I am sorry.
Come on, buddy. I'm not asking for much, just for you to think back a little. Grégoire de Alpin is a member of your little family, is he not?
Our brotherhood is private, sir. You must leave the premises, otherwise I shall be forced to call the authorities.
You were not announced, sir. I wasn't expecting you. How can I help you?
Hello, Doctor. Jacques Eloin, private detective. Sorry, I am out of business cards. You'll have to take my word for it. That way we'll both be in the same boat.
A private eye. I am sure you are well aware I am not at liberty to discuss one of my patients. Doctor-patient confidentiality.
That's what's so frustrating about doctors. As soon as you walk in the room, they have guessed the reason for your visit.
My job is to discover intention.
I found your business card at the home of someone who's not so innocent.
I have no control over who has one of my calling cards, Mr. Eloin. The proof? You yourself have one. And yet, I never gave it to you.
You do not happen to have a patient by the name of Gracie Eaton, Dr. Kaufner?
Gracie Eaton? Of course, Mr. Eloin. What do you want to know about Gracie Eaton?
Gracie Eaton is a little crazy, isn't she? You do treat the mentally ill, don't you?
Not all of my patients are ready for a straitjacket, Mr. Eloin. On the contrary, I care for all those with tormented souls. It's called therapy. One could classify Miss Eaton in this category.
Gracie Eaton has a brother, Paul Eaton, doesn't she? What do you know about him?
Paul Eaton. I suspect he engineered the whole thing. He's the one who brought Gracie to my office when she had her first attack. Thereafter, he remained in the background.
You know why I've been hired? And I won't hide the fact that I do not have any hard facts on the theft. Is there anything you can tell me?
You know enough to complete your investigation, Mr. Eloin. Listen, old chap. If you want to know where the Eatons are hiding, you have come to the wrong place. Yes, I introduced Gracie Eaton to the companions. Yes, she knew the Alpin. But as to how intimate they were, that is their business. All I can tell you is that if I knew where she and her brother were, you would not be here. So, do the job you are being paid to do, Mr. Eloin. Find the thieves, and let us get on with the rest. We each have our own role, do we not?
And the time he dressed up as an angel, and he did not have a string on his bow. Berenice.
Oh, sorry. Jacques Eloin. Perhaps you could help me.
Why not? Would you like a drink? Come on, don't be silly. I'm a modern girl. Come, have a seat. You've never been here. I would remember your face. I'm curious to know what brings you here.
Today must be my lucky day. In my job, I usually deal with punks, not cute dolls like you. I'm a detective. You happen to know a certain Paul Eaton?
The American? Paul Eaton? Yes, I know him. He's been filling our heads with his stories for the past month. He and the owner are mates.
What about Paul? Does he come here often? You know, if he starts bugging you, it would give me more reasons to nail him.
You know, Jacques, that Eaton smells like trouble. One day, he turns up from God knows where with his little British accent. After a few drink sessions with Hulot, the owner, he loses his accent. After that, he shows up here practically every day, more American than ever. Then wham! No more news.
Oh, that's a shame. I was really hoping to find him there. To be honest, I went to his place before coming to the Alambic and like magic, they disappeared. So, I thought you might be able to help me.
We do not really know what Eaton is doing in Paris. In the beginning, he said he was with his sister, a student. After a few binges, his sister had become his wife, and they were both onto the scam of the century.
Interesting story about Eaton. Is he on to something big? Did he give you any details? Mind you, with guys like him, you never know what to believe.
I'm fond of you, Snoop. You know how to go about things. I'm going to help you. Paul Eaton was in Paris for a contract. A scam that would make him rich. His wife was his accomplice. Then he got the jitters. He's hiding now. Hulot, the owner, definitely knows more. You'll have to see him about that. Only thing is, he's not too fond of private snoops.
Berenice, do you believe this bank heist story? Eaton must surely have been planning something. He could not have just given up like a complete idiot. It must be a diversion. It smacks of a wild goose chase.
Charming and smart, that P.I. Only he has it wrong. It was not the banker's money the Eatons were after. It was a treasure he had hidden in his place. The woman took care of seducing him. Paul was there to pick the fruit when it was ripe. He was completely manipulated, that poor Paul.
Charming. Berenice, I can feel that, like me, you're dying to know where Paul Eaton and his wife are. What was Paul planning to do after his job? Any ideas?
The owner, Hulot, knows a thing or two. Paul only spoke English, and he never mentioned any names. He could not have known much. It's not because you drink like a fish that you know more. It was his other half who pulled the strings.
The owner, Hulot, is also your friend. Would you be kind enough to introduce us?
The owner's not here. He's just driven off. Actually, I think he had a rendezvous with Eaton.
Damn it, this is too much. I'm always one step behind. This time, I'll catch them before they slip away again.
It is simple, Jacques. The owner went dashing off. He mentioned a restaurant, getting back late. How would I know?
A restaurant. How fitting. I was planning on inviting you. But a restaurant in Paris is like looking for a needle in the haystack. Any idea which one?
And why would I know? Eaton talked about going out to a chic restaurant with his wife, but he did not even know which one. It was Hulot who scribbled down the address before leaving.
That's all you know, is it? In any case, someone as charming as you is always beyond suspicion.
Ciao, Snoop. Good luck.
Look, a notepad. The first page seems to have been ripped out in a hurry.
Hulot is implicated in this affair? But how?
Who knows? He's a fence, is he not?
I brought you a little snack.
Thank you. I'll just put it there. We'll help ourselves. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, the restaurant.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Do you have a reservation?
I'm here to see some friends. 2 Americans, a couple. The Eatons. I hope I haven't missed them.
I do not see any reservation under that name. Maybe they have reserved a table in another establishment.
Oh, come on, try a little. Another guy may have joined them. A certain Hulot.
You should have said so. Of course I remember them. They had quite a scene during the meal, arguing no stop. In the end, a man turned up and they all left in a car. But you're mistaken about the name. It was White, not Eaton. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm a private detective, hired by Grégoire de Alpin. I have to find them, and quickly. I'm fed up of chasing after them. Any idea what it could be? Got an address.
Sir, this is not my job to spy on people. It would seem to be yours, though. All that matters to me is that they enjoyed their meal and paid their bill. Actually, they put it on their account at the Hotel Orphée. A French gentleman joined them, and they chatted for a while before leaving together. I do not know what they want. I hope this is of some help to you, because you seem to be completely lost.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. How may I help you?
White. I've come to see the Whites. Which room might I find them in?
We do not give out such information, sir. Not without the prior agreement of our clients.
Come on, pal. Be a sport. I can pay.
Sir, you shall obtain nothing from me with money.
You don't know what you're missing. Crisp bills straight from the bank.
That will not work with me, sir. You are not in the slums here. Keep your money. Book yourself some lessons in proper manners, if it's not too late.
You're not the first guard dog I have encountered, but you're certainly the toughest. I'll let you think about it. Do not worry, though. I'll be back soon.
It is better that way, sir.
Okay, what do I do now? Now what?
If you want any leads about the Whites, wait for me at the Nazi. I will give you some.
This case is really beginning to get on my nerves.
What can I get you, son?
A bottle, please.
That will be 5 francs, sir.
All right. Thanks and good day.
You're welcome, sir.
Sit down. What do you want with the Whites?
You look like someone who might be able to slip me some info about the Whites.
We will see. How much will you pay?
Do not worry, it's my client who pays.
Ah, someone who gets things quickly. We're going to get along just fine. Now, what do you want to know?
The Whites. Do you know who I'm talking about? Well, they're a couple. What's Mrs. White like? Is she hot?
Yes, a tall guy and a beautiful dame, both of them Americans. They're definitely a couple. Slept in the same bed, bathed in the same tub.
How long have they been at the hotel?
They've only been in the hotel for 3 days. Since they never leave their room, it does not take much to figure out what they are up to in there. No, they have never set foot here before.
Have the Whites had any visitors since their arrival?
Solitary types. If you ask me, they are not tourists. They hardly ever came out of their hole. They put everything on the hotel bill. Meals, clothes, alcohol. The room has been booked for a good month. The man went out a couple of times at night.
Will you give me their room number? I'm gonna pay them a little visit.
Room 507, but you are out of luck. They are not there. Must have kissed and made up. The dame has dyed her hair red. Look, I've got other things to do, you know. It's not like your money is going to a life of leisure. You ought to hire a private eye.
Mr. Delpa, our birds have returned. Even so, I would like to take a quick look. Room 507. Just a quick look. That's when I saw the most amazing thing in my life. I do not know if it was the smoke that blurred my vision, but one thing is for sure. That creature was not trying to keep them warm. And the damn creature saw me. I have fought in the war, you know, but I've never seen the likes of that. When its eyes stared at me, I ran. Yes, I fled like a little kid. There must have been something in the air because I fainted right after that. I came around later, near the Alambic. That's where you saw me. Mom? Is that you?
Ah, no. Jacques Alouin, I'm arresting you for the double murder of the Whites.
Believe me, I'm not the culprit. Speak to my mother, she'll give you the proof.
Well, thank you for your help.
What?
Yes, I had you followed, and you led us straight to the culprit.
No. Something is off. I've been tricked like a sucker. But by who?
You again? Wasn't getting my son arrested enough for you?
I believe your son is innocent, but I need evidence so I can prove it.
Do you think so? My son left me the key to his office safe. Here, take it. You'll find what you're looking for in there.
Eloin's notes. They contain all the information he found during his investigation.
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the Élysée, 1528? I want to speak to Sophia Blake.
Right away, sir. Sophia Blake, who's speaking?
Miss Blake, this is Gus McPherson. Can we meet? I'd like to clarify a few points with you.
Meet me in an hour at the restaurant Chez Alexandre. We can talk there.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Chez Alexandre. Can I do anything for you, sir?
A table has been booked under the name of Blake, Sophia Blake. I'm here to meet up with the lady. My name is Gus McPherson.
This way, please, sir. Miss Blake is waiting for you.
If you want to see me, Mr. McPherson, I imagine it's because you've made some headway.
What I have learned totally contradicts what you said about the Whites. Who are they really?
Ruby White was my younger sister, and Regis White was her husband. I already told you, Mr. McPherson.
Actually, several new occurrences have come to light. Occurrences that require an explanation from you, Miss Blake.
I don't understand, Mr. McPherson. What do you mean?
There is one small detail in all this that you failed to mention. The head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you, Miss Blake?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. McPherson. Should I?
I'm sorry, Miss Blake, but I cannot continue working under these conditions.
Don't leave me alone, Mr. McPherson. My life's in danger. I'm sorry I tricked you. I am going to tell you everything about the danger that we're in. What do you want to know?
Ruby and Regis White never existed. Not as you described them anyway. Who are they really?
I don't have a sister, Mr. McPherson. Ruby White's real name was Faye Johnson, and Jerome Johnson was her real husband. I hired them, a terrible mistake on my part, but I'm not responsible for their death.
What were they doing in Paris? I want the truth, Miss Blake.
They were supposed to retrieve the object that was stolen from me. Everything was planned in minute detail. They failed. Their death is a regrettable accident.
In the course of my investigations, I was told about a much coveted object, the head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you?
The object has been in my husband's family for generations, Mr. McPherson. I didn't lie to you. Grégoire de Alpin stole it from us. My husband, already weak from his illness, died of sorrow. I now want to retrieve what is rightfully mine and avenge the memory of the man I loved.
Then you recognize the existence of this man, Grégoire d'Alpin. Who is he really?
A madman, blinded by an obsession to possess a supposedly valuable relic. The head of Baphomet. By stealing it, he destroyed my life. De Alpin led my husband to his death, my family to ruin.
What exactly is the importance of this object, this head of Baphomet? And why is de Alpin so anxious to get hold of it?
I don't really know. My husband was very secretive about the value of the head of Baphomet. As for me, I simply want to retrieve what is rightfully mine. But de Alpin and his lot venerate the relic, surrounded with many legends. Legends of immortality. As you grow old, these legends suddenly become a source of hope, a source of life and death.
Why so many identities?
They were professional con artists, Mr. McPherson. As soon as they occupied their room at the Hôtel Orphée, they became the Whites, a rich couple on vacation. It was also the signal that they had pulled it off. I was supposed to take delivery of the merchandise. Unfortunately, they were killed in the meantime.
Who, in your opinion, killed the Whites?
The Whites were criminals, Mr. McPherson. They made a foolish mistake. They're dead. Aside from their own carelessness, it can only be because of the man who is behind all of this, Grégoire de Alpin.
Do you think the killer will strike again?
He would do anything to achieve his aim, Mr. McPherson. Everyone who has crossed his path is in danger. The man is insane. He'll kill again. You must understand that you are the only one who can stop him. We have to put an end to this madness. The object must be found before other heads roll.
Go and tell the police what you have told me. Inspector Lebrun will be glad to help you. He'll understand, I'm sure.
You still haven't understood. The police do not want a part of this. De Alpin has the Paris police in his pocket, Mr. McPherson. Paris is just a puppet on his string.
That is a tragic story, Miss Blake. Why didn't you tell me the truth from the outset?
I was alone in Paris, confronted by a fearless enemy. I had to act quickly and discreetly. If you had refused to help me, Mr. McPherson, I would have had no one else. I didn't want to be dishonest with you.
I agreed to work for you. I'll see the job through.
You see, we can reach an agreement, Mr. McPherson.
Mac, you disappear for ages, then turn up without warning. You must be after something.
Bebe, those beautiful eyes of yours surely saw a beautiful stranger. Especially an American. Do you remember a guy at the Alembic going by the name of Paul Eaton?
It's funny you mention it. Another detective came and asked me the same thing a few days ago. Good-looking bloke, that PI. Nice mustache. Yes, I remember Eaton. He was hanging out with the Alembic crowd last month.
Berenice, I think I'd better warn you. This Paul Eaton is mixed up in some dirty business. I just hope the boss, Albert, did not trust Eaton too much.
Paul and old man Hulot? Of course they know each other. They even got really chummy.
Berenice, it is vital you tell me everything you know about Paul Eaton. And I warn you, everything he has told you is probably lies. I think his name is also a fake.
He was not very chatty, Polly boy. I must say, he did not speak French very well. All I got was that he was in Paris with his sister, who I never saw. He hinted once or twice that they were onto something big, loads of cash, easy work. You know, Mac, now that I think of it, Paul Eaton was definitely the dodgy type.
Berenice, do you remember the other night before you came round to my place? I had some complications. That guy who got away from me. Well, I caught up with him, but I need to know if you have seen him here before. Eloin. Jacques Eloin.
Yes, well, I think it was the same. He came asking questions a few days ago. I don't know.
Hulot, the boss? Is he there? Maybe he noticed some things that you missed, Bebe. You know, you might have been too busy staring at that tall, dark American to notice anything peculiar about him.
Albert is not here. I was supposed to meet him here this morning, but he's not come by today. You know, Mac, Albert Hulot has not changed. He's as weird as ever. If I see him, I will tell him you're looking for him.
Have you seen anything of Paul Eaton since?
No point getting all jealous, Mac. You're the only American in my heart. I've not seen Eaton here again. And as for Albert, the owner, I have no idea. I suspect Paul pulled off the scam of the century and fled to Borneo.
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
If I can be of any assistance, sir?
Yes,
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
You are mistaken. I'm not just any old visitor. I've come to make inquiries. Inquiries about the occult.
Visitors are not admitted, sir. Would you kindly leave?
The knowledge stored here would be impossible to find anywhere else. Even the Sorbonne is but a pale shadow of your great learning.
Our library contains knowledge and secrets that cannot even be found at the Sorbonne. The Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross are the most erudite people in the Western world.
Does your sealed-off library include books on magic, Kabbalah, divination, tarot, lost civilizations, Mu, Hyperborea, Atlantis, the Holy Grail, and alchemy?
Sir, one must not joke with the occult arts. Alchemy, the great work.
How does one attain this great work? Must one first become a Supreme Brother before contemplating all of its power? Like your SBGDA? Your alchemist?
The great Ouroboros has spoken, sir. GDA is no more. The SBK is our supreme leader now.
You mean to say D'Alpin is no longer your Supreme Brother? Had his term of office ended, or was he deposed?
We are not in the Middle Ages now, sir. It is simply an inheritance by due succession.
What does the future hold for a former SB once he has stood down? What became of GDA?
GDA is the supreme light. His wisdom becomes accessible to all consciences. The great work has been done.
Could you be more explicit, Mr. Dumoulin? If what you say regarding your GDA means that he is no longer among us, that he is dead, then, my friend, you will have the courts to answer to.
Glory to the SBK.
You seem to know a little too much, Dumoulin. Be careful with your threats. I'm not here to bother you. I already have a suspect for these crimes. But from what you have told me, I could easily have you charged with being an accessory. At the very worst, you might be sent to the nut house.
What would the police do, eh? What would it gain? They will have to wait a long time for an order from the police chief. Leave before things get worse for you.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using this letter?
No problem. Come by later, your letter will be ready. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
When the Whites returned on the night of their death, did you notice if a car dropped them off? A smart car. I don't remember the make.
Who knows? I was here at the desk. Mallet was taking care of the door. Actually, he saw to all the doors. He was a doorman. One good reason why all the locks throughout the establishment ought to be changed. Mallet is no longer with us, and nobody knows what he has done with the master key. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
Sir?
The man you identified is called Helouin. Jacques Helouin. Can you confirm your statement?
Helouin? That's a funny name. And a private eye to boot. Now, I'm surprised. Quite a turnaround, isn't it? That is definitely why he came in here, no mistake. As for what happened to him afterwards, I have no way of knowing.
Did Mallet join him, or was it the other way around?
Yes, I remember now. He and Mallet had a quick chat, and it was definitely Mallet who met up with him. The man arrived a few moments before Mallet did.
Mallet is dead.
Mallet is dead? That's awful. It's starting to be an epidemic. I can kiss the money the little scoundrel owed me goodbye. Never mind. May he rest in peace.
Did he owe you money?
Mallet has always been in debt. On the night of the murder, he slipped off without coming to see me. If he had any money on him, he hung on to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are the detective, are you not?
With the arrest of Helouin, this case has taken a different turn. And I'm the only one who can save him from the guillotine. I have to shed light on two investigations at the same time.
It is time to decide who you trust, Mr. McPherson. I'm as eager as you to see the end of this nightmare.
You associate with the Parisian upper crust, Mrs. Loiseau. Can you tell me about Grégoire d'Alpin?
Grégoire de Alpin is an extremely rich banker in Paris, the heir of an old family.
You're telling me stuff that everybody knows, Mrs. Loiseau. Give me something paranormal, something occult.
De Alpin is a powerful man. He works in the shadows, fascinated by the Middle Ages. He is the founder of the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross. Will that be enough, Mr. McPherson?
You You probably know the Brotherhood of the Supreme Order of the Rosy Cross.
An occult brotherhood. Beware. Its members are highly influential in every sector of Parisian life. That is what makes them so dangerous. Contrary to what they'd have you believe, their occult knowledge is rather limited.
Mrs. Loiseau, your knowledge of the occult world must surely qualify you for a place amongst them.
They still live according to the social constraints of the Middle Ages. Women are not admitted. It is, as their name claims, a brotherhood, after all.
Sorry to disappoint you, but they have had a woman member, Gracie Eaton.
Do not confuse them, Mr. Macpherson. Miss Eaton was introduced as a guest. It seems that she had a particular talent that charmed the Supreme Brother.
Lurking in the shadows from the beginning of my investigation. Grégoire d'Alpin is the Supreme Brother. I'm right, am I not?
For a very long time, Grégoire de Alpin was the Supreme Brother, Mr. Macpherson. But he has now given way to another.
The job is open. The time is ripe to propose you as successor.
The hair took his place. Kay is the new Supreme Brother. And Kay is Dr. Frank Goffner, Mr. Macpherson.
What becomes of Grégoire d'Alpin? Did they give him a leaving bonus? Did he retire to Provence?
This succession is the result of a schism at the heart of the Brotherhood. The two men did not share the same vision of the past and the future. De Alpin no doubt saw that his time had come. His retirement was quite voluntary.
Would these men be capable of ordering the deaths of those who would stand in their way?
Weren't the whites known to both Goffner and de Alpin, Mr. Macpherson? Nothing is beyond the reach.
There are too many questions. We'll only get answers to our questions by shedding light on the white's death.
Even evil has reason, Mr. Macpherson. Even evil. Should you have need of guidance, do not hesitate. Come back and see me.
There, a scandal rag beneath the door. There we go. It's an engagement ring. How romantic. The engraving inside says, "To Faye with love." Who's Faye? Whew. Smells like ether, only stronger. And my head is spinning. Looks like black hair dye. Here it is, the right key. Pandora's secrets are all mine.
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the post office, please? I'd like to send a telegram.
Right away, sir. Poste telegraph, go ahead, please.
This is urgent. A telegram for J. Wells, Pinkerton Agency, New York. Take this down. Seek information on a couple. Faye and Jerome Johnson. Stop. Americans. Stop.
I've made a note of it. Finished, sir? Goodbye.
I must get past these alleys. If anyone lays their hands on me, I certainly don't want to find myself in a cell. the egg, symbol of immortality, according to Mrs. Loiseau. Strange, I don't remember Helwine mentioning it. At the heart of the egg, the secret of the soul. A wax cylinder with the cycle of the phoenix by F. Kaufner written on it. All we need now is a phonograph.
Did I realize how great an impact dealing with this man would have on me, on my career, on my own destiny? His soul has passed from body to body down through the centuries. The cycle of the phoenix. He is the phoenix, risen from the ashes. He has confided in me the secret of his power, of his riches, the head of Baphomet. I am very familiar with the myth. The Companion's library featured more than one legend on the subject. Grégoire d'Alpin claims to have been in possession of the head since the Middle Ages. He acquired it on behalf of the Knights Templar and kept it after their dissolution. They dare to call my manifesto a scientific fairy tale. They think they're the leading experts in psychoanalysis. Vienna. I will prove my theory to them. I will prove that Grégoire d'Alpin is immortal. Slowly but surely, my role in d'Alpin's existence has grown in importance. Using hypnosis, I have managed to impose my will upon him, all the while espousing his ambitions. I shall be his successor as the head of the Companions. His power, his riches, the Baphomet, it will all be mine. I shall be his heir. The time has come. This evening, d'Alpin wishes to see me at his manor. Gracie Eaton, his Adeline, will be there. Tonight, I shall become the greatest. Neither Vienna nor d'Alpin can stop me now. The old fool is convinced that I'm ready to receive his soul. Ready to receive his riches, more like. And the influence that comes with them. Then Vienna shall pay for its insolence.
are the detective, are you not?
gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Baby, I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using these documents?
Again? Right. Come and see me later. Your letter will be ready. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Baby, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
I see. The orders rooms are at your disposal.
These books are in Greek, Latin, other languages people no longer speak, myself included.
You are the detective, are you not?
A real alchemy kit. All these flasks contain powders. What on earth does he do with them all?
But he couldn't stop me from joining the Templars. I have to try to cleanse myself of their sin of the flesh. Because of him and my mother, my soul may already be condemned to hell. Only the balm of the Templars' faith can rid it of the mortal sin engraved upon it. On October 9th, Saint Denis Day, I finally discovered the traces of the head. Blessed by Saint Denis, he who smiles down on me in all his beatitude to help me leave my soul. Yes, Saint Denis is smiling on me. The head purifies me. As God is my witness, I, Simon le Bel, in this year of our Lord, 1305, shall enter the body of Pierre le Bel de Clemency tomorrow, June 24th, and shall retrieve what is mine by divine right. In this new body, purified of my soul and of my parents' carnal sin, death will no longer hold any mystery for me. The head of Baphomet has finally revealed all of its secrets. Victory! I would shout this divine miracle from the rooftops if I did not fear the unbelievers and their stake. I am in a new, younger, stronger body, and it is God's will. How else can I explain Adeline's appearance at my bedside? Blessed and cursed. God gave me a new body, but Adeline, my angel, who took care of this new body, is forbidden to me. It would seem she is the daughter of that idiot, Pierre. That's to say, my own daughter at present. I am weary of this existence. What is the point of living for centuries if I can never again glimpse the smile of my beloved Adeline? Ah, Adeline, you who are forbidden to me, will I ever see your sweet face again? I would gladly exchange these solitary centuries to see your face, your eyes, once more. She has returned. She is once more of this world, and so close to me. She visited Kaufner today. It really was her. That excellent doctor of the mind confirmed it. It is her, and this time she will be mine for the rest of my life.
Well, Miss Blake, it would seem you did not tell me everything. Right, that's all I needed. Blake's been abducted and the kidnapper takes himself for a Dialpe. And naturally he wants the head in exchange. As if I knew where it was.
McPherson. Max, something awful's happened. Hulot is dead. He's been murdered.
My God, Berenice. Why him? Why Hulot? When did this happen? And you, Bebe, are you okay?
The cops discovered his body at sunrise, but he may have been dead for a couple of days. I have no idea. No idea.
It's awful. Hulot was not supposed to die. He could not die. He was the last person to see the whites alive. The police. Did the police tell you how it happened?
I don't know how to describe it. It is so sordid. His head, Mac, his head was cut off. His body was hanging on the front of the car. And his head was sitting on the hood like a figurehead. Worst of all, in his mouth. The police found a coin in his mouth.
Berenice, we have to get to the bottom of this before everyone else dies. Do you know who is heading the inquiry?
Inspector Lebrun, always spotless, the perfect bourgeois. They're putting on an act in an attempt to hoodwink us. In fact, Mac, they haven't got anything to go on. Hulot, you, me, Elouin, for them we're all nobodies. It's up to us to unravel this.
Berenice, Hulot is dead. We have to be careful too. Was it the police who told you? They have a suspect. They're already holding Elouin.
The pigs? They're all the same. The investigation is taking its course, miss. Like hell. Everything I know I got from my contacts.
Hulot dead, and the soul of the Alembic gone with him. We've all lost a great friend, Berenice. Keep your chin up, baby. Don't let them get you down. There's still the Alembic.
Hulot started from nothing. He worked as a construction worker on the metro before becoming a very important patron of the arts. You know, a big shot.
Yes, it's true. A great patron to the artists, and a sponsor to you, to me, to the others. He took me under his wing as soon as I got to Paris. A generous man, even if he never wanted to exhibit me.
Hulot always had a solution for everything. Like he said, every man has at least one quality. There were those he exhibited, and then there were the others. A real little hive of activity behind Hulot. Painters, sculptors, writers, intellectuals. In any case, Mac, nobody in Paris knows anything about art, but they all want a picture on their walls. And they're willing to pay a small fortune.
I feel as bad as you do, Berenice. Anyone who comes to the Alembic will be grieving. The place will be a shrine to him. Everyone who comes in will be reminded of Albert Hulot. So many stories.
You know how much Hulot loved his entourage. Everybody had a chance. The Alembic was his masterpiece. Take this fresco, for example. You know how many artists contributed? Hulot would ask them to paint a bit, sometimes just a brushstroke. Over the years, it became his treasure.
It's true. That fresco is rather special. Did he tell you what it is meant to represent?
He used to sit and stare at the fresco at night. Honestly, Mac, he kept the secrets of his soul.
But Berenice, doing those little favors could have sometimes made crooks out of us. Everyone knew Albert was a fence.
Hulot saw himself as the Robin Hood of the art world. He got money out of the rich for the art of the poor. He may have been a fence, but he had ideas.
Still, I don't think it's very honorable. Copying an original work is like plundering its magic.
Of course, Mac. I worked for Hulot. We all have to live, you know. And sculpture doesn't exactly pay a girl's rent.
You say you've copied works of art for Hulot? Has he commissioned any work recently?
Strangely enough, yes. The day you came to the Alembic, the first time, I gave him a copy of a grotesque bust.
My God. Berenice, the bust. The bust you sculpted for Hulot. Did it look like what you see in the sketch?
It is exactly the same. Hulot asked me to make a copy. I gave it to him the night you came. Mac, I'm scared. What's going on?
It's awful. I have to find this head before there are any more deaths. Even your life is at risk, Berenice. The killer is after this head. Don't you see, Bebe? I have to find out how Hulot got his hands on this accursed object.
I have no idea who gave the head to Hulot. I made a copy, that's all.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. One thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I'll do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
Hulot, what was the secret you had hidden right under our noses all the time?
You are the detective, are you not?
Of all the strange things that my investigation has thrown up, Mrs. Loiseau, there's nothing more mysterious than this object that everyone calls the head of Baphomet. What do you know about it?
Throughout the ages, this relic has been the subject of so many rumors and aroused so much greed that many have doubted its existence.
Some seem to think that this object possesses magic powers, another illusion dreamed up by fans of esotericism.
The church also has its relics, Mr. McPherson. Instead of magic, they talk of miracles. What is important is the faith that believers attach to the object of worship. Nothing else.
How can a psychoanalyst like Dr. Kaufner believe that the head of Baphomet holds some kind of power?
Dr. Kaufner has become the mirror of the Jalapin's soul. They are so alike, we no longer know which one is pulling the strings. He has lost both his will and reason.
Do you believe that, Mrs. Loiseau? Do you share Grégoire d'Alpin's views?
De Jalapin firmly believes that the Baphomet confers eternal life, Mr. McPherson.
And d'Alpin managed to spread this myth by surrounding himself with loyal supporters who share his beliefs.
The head of Baphomet has belonged to Grégoire de Jalapin for a long time. It is the symbol of his power over the Brotherhood. It is his only reason for living.
So in losing Baphomet, d'Alpin has lost his head, in a manner of speaking.
Yes, to believe so strongly in a power that it controls your life.
D'Alpin is dead. The myth of Baphomet is absurd. There is no such thing as immortality.
What is immortality? What is eternal life? Only Philistines talk about it. Those who do know do not talk.
Mr. Macpherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is not put to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? Arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes, a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustav! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment when our convictions, our beliefs, our passions are shattered. When you discover your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you! Like he killed all the others! He killed them all! That Kaufner, he killed them!
Judged! All guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. Macpherson. The Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, Macpherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
You've lost your mind, Kaufner. You've been exposed. You are the killer. You are a monster.
I am the sole judge of my actions.
But this object has no power, Kaufner. Not this object, not any object. There's never been any such magic. Trying to prove the contrary has made you lose your mind.
Ah! Become my successor, Macpherson. I will initiate you into the power of Baphomet.
The Baphomet has wrecked your life, just as I will in turn wreck the Baphomet.
Hey! Don't forget me!
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
What happened to Kaufner?
What do you think? The cops carted him off, and he's rotting in jail now.
What some people will do for power.
Yes, some people would do anything for power and money, but not us. The Alpin, you turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
Their death is fair payment for their treachery.
Haven't you understood that nothing in all this can wipe out your suffering, your grief, your Adeline?
The memory of Adeline lives on stronger than ever.
How can you believe in the purity of a love, whilst revering an idol such as the Baphomet? You disgust me, D'Alpe. You are unworthy of your Adeline. You are unworthy of any woman. Take back your precious treasure. Cherish it.
Did you really think I would let you leave with my secret? Did you really think he would save you? You were wrong. Mrs. Eloin?
Oh, Gendarme Beauvais. I did not expect to see you here.
I do not know how to tell you this, but I have news about your son.
What's wrong? I can tell that you have news for me, and that it's not good.
Indeed. I would rather tell you in person before the newspapers get hold of it. The execution will take place the day after tomorrow.
Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
You've got very little on Halloween, Inspector. Unless you have further evidence, your culprit will soon be a free man, cleared of all suspicion.
I have some solid witnesses, and moreover, a very accurate witness sketch. Thank you.
Your charge of murder against Halloween just doesn't hold water, Inspector Lebrun. Another man is dead, Hulot. Albert Hulot was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Mallet.
In other words, the accomplice is still out there.
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
That does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things? Do my Ferry with love.
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
They robbed Grégoire d'Alpin. The plan was orchestrated by the same woman who hired me, Sophia Blake. This is a major con trick, Inspector.
D'Alpin? Grégoire d'Alpin? The banker? McPherson, I assure you that a man as important as Grégoire d'Alpin would have called on the police to solve this case. He has the means, believe me.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Grégoire d'Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Stop protecting d'Alpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
Thank you, McPherson.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Halloween's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, McPherson.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Grégoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, McPherson.
D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. d'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Halloween's innocence, McPherson. Quite the contrary.
If d'Alpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired Halloween to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Halloween.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. McPherson.
It's strange, but it's true. Doubtless d'Alpin preferred to sort this business out in the greatest secrecy. Just ask Halloween. He's the one who investigated it.
I would have to check with Monsieur D'Alpin. I can't tell you more, Macpherson.
1 gold, 1 brass. One at D'Alpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, Macpherson.
Why would he have killed Mallet? He knew they would have been seen together in broad daylight at the cafe. Elouin is not that stupid.
Mallet was the one who linked Elouin to the White's murder. An embarrassing witness. If he had not been behind bars, other witnesses would have been eliminated. Maybe even you, Mr. Macpherson.
But Inspector, Elouin and Hulot never met. He had no motive for killing him.
Elouin had never met the Whites, but he killed them nonetheless. Albert Hulot was probably another embarrassing witness.
I continue to doubt his guilt.
You're not a judge, Mr. Macpherson. But if you think you can prove his innocence, go ahead.
I hope these clues will enable us to prove that Elouin is innocent.
I will speak with Elouin, and we shall see. If I understand correctly, the Whites were not the Whites, but the Eatons, who are in fact the Johnsons. A couple of professional con artists hired to retrieve a relic at the Alpins by Sophia Blake. Also your employer, Mr. Macpherson. Yet according to this note, Sophia Blake is currently being held hostage by Mr. D'Alpin. Would it be the same D'Alpin we see dead in these photos? Do you understand anything?
It's just that...
That is to say that you and me are going to have a little chat to set this story straight from the beginning.
Lebrun, aren't you tired of making people believe this story? The evidence is there, on the table.
Sir, I advise you to go back to your paintbrushes and leave the authorities to do their job. Now, if you will excuse us...
May I retrieve my documents?
Consider these documents as facts, Mr. Macpherson. And without facts, there is no proof.
Yes, and there's the proof of my innocence, Lebrun.
We shall see about that, Elouin. We shall see. Mr. Macpherson, goodbye.
Poor Elouin. I did what I could for him. The only thing I've got left now is my conscience. Me, Blake, and my conscience.
Mr. Macpherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is not put to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? Arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes, a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustave! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment When our convictions, our beliefs, our passions are shattered. When you discover your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you! Like he killed all the others! He killed them all! That Kaufner, he killed them!
Judged! All guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. Macpherson. The Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, Macpherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
The Alpin, you turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
Their death is fair payment for their treachery.
Who, the Alpin, will judge you for these crimes you have committed? God or the devil?
I am the sole judge of my actions.
This story shall end at the very moment you lay your hands on your treasure. I have never represented justice. I have merely tried to do my job, both for her and for you, albeit against my will. Take back the head of Baphomet, since you are the one who wants it. Justice will be done. One day, you will pay for it. Right. You have the head now. Let her go.
Blundering idiot! Did you really think I would let you leave with my secret?
That was close.
Yes. I owe you one.
Never mind that. If it was not for you, I would still be rotting away in jail.
Come on. I'll buy you a drink at the Alembic.
It's not like me to turn down such an offer. And there's that cute girl that works there.
Be careful. People are not always what they seem.
Hey! Don't forget me!
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
Is Kaufner right? Was he really de Alpin?
What difference would it make? He's dead now. He might have been immortal. He's not any longer.
What some people will do for power.
Yes. There are people who would do anything for power and money. But not us.
Mr. Macpherson, did you...
You've lost your mind, Kaufner. You've been exposed. You are the killer. You are a monster.
I am the sole judge of my actions.
Innocent people have died in the name of this power. This power has turned you into a monster.
The death of innocent people must weigh heavily on your conscience, Mr. Macpherson. You have failed.
I wonder who's losing at the moment. You are holding Blake. I am holding your treasure. Which of us will find it easier to bear the loss of their hostage? Look, your head of Baphomet is about to get smashed. No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
What happened to Kovner?
What do you think? The cops carted him off, and he's rotting in jail now.
What some people will do for power.
Yes, some people would do anything for power and money, but not us.